Have you ever found yourself bogged down by habits or thoughts that sap your energy and peace of mind? If you're over 40, you likely understand the importance of living more lightly and meaningfully. The good news is that small changes can have a profound impact on your life. Picture yourself letting go of what no longer serves you and creating space for genuine tranquility and wisdom. This video is for those who are seeking more serenity and purpose in their lives. Have you ever considered how unnecessary worries or draining relationships affect your well-being? Today, we will explore how you can identify and eliminate these stressors to live more fully. Welcome. In today's video, we'll discuss the 12 things you need to silently remove from your life, inspired by the wisdom of Stoicism. We'll share straightforward and effective Stoic practices to help you recognize and eliminate these 12 obstacles that may be hindering your path to a balanced and happy life. Are you ready to uncover these barriers and learn how Stoicism can help you shed these invisible burdens to achieve a lighter, more meaningful life? Keep watching to see how these ancient lessons can bring real change to your everyday existence. Join us on this journey of transformation and self-discovery. Prepare to challenge your perceptions and gain practical tools for a more serene life. Stay with us until the end to fully understand and integrate each of the 12 steps, ensuring the last one ties it all together. Let's get started on transforming your life silently and effectively. Now, if you are new here, please like the video and subscribe. Statistics show that only 15% of my audience is subscribed to the channel, so if this content has helped you in any way, I ask you to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Attachment to material possessions. 1. Finding fulfillment beyond material possessions. Have you ever considered how much of your life is devoted to managing and maintaining your possessions? Today, let's explore how to shift our focus from material belongings to what truly brings happiness and inner peace. The Stoics, like Seneca and Epictetus, taught that true contentment doesn't come from what we own, but from how we live. They believed that an attachment to material possessions can bind and distract us from what genuinely matters, much like carrying unnecessary weight that hinders our path to true peace. Picture your home filled with objects accumulated over the years. Each one might hold a memory, but do all these items truly bring you lasting joy or merely momentary satisfaction? The Stoics encourage us to question this constant desire to accumulate more. Consider the cluttered closet, full of clothes you seldom wear. How often have you felt frustrated searching for something you need amidst the excess? Instead of accumulating, what if we focused on what truly adds value to our lives? Liberating yourself from attachment to material possessions doesn't mean giving up everything and living minimally. It's about finding balance and prioritizing experiences and relationships over objects. Imagine dedicating more time to your hobbies, family, and friends, rather than worrying about the next purchase or maintaining your belongings. The Stoics also teach us to appreciate what we have without being dominated by the urge to acquire more. Recognizing that true wealth lies in gratitude for the present and living simply and fully, we discover that inner peace cannot be bought but cultivated. Think about the freedom that comes from letting go of unnecessary things. It's like clearing space in your life for new experiences and opportunities. Each item you leave behind is a step toward a lighter and more conscious life. Next time you're tempted to buy something new, ask yourself, will this truly add value to my life? If the answer is no, it might be time to reevaluate your priorities. The Stoics invite us to live more consciously, focus on what truly brings joy, and let go of what is superfluous. Freeing yourself from material attachment is a journey of self-knowledge and seeking a more balanced life. It's about finding happiness in simple things, enriching experiences, and sustaining relationships. Let's embark on this journey together, discovering that what truly matters cannot be bought but lived intensely in every moment. Embracing growth through discomfort. The fear of losing comfort is something everyone faces at some point. The stability of an established routine and the familiarity of our environment can provide a sense of security. However, this comfort zone can become an invisible prison, preventing us from growing and exploring new possibilities. Accepting that change and discomfort are inevitable parts of life is essential. Each transformation brings opportunities for learning and evolution. Instead of fearing the unknown, we can see it as a chance to discover new skills and perspectives. Many of life's greatest achievements come from moments of discomfort. When we step out of our comfort zones, we are forced to adapt and grow. This process can be challenging but is also incredibly rewarding. Reflecting on past experiences where unexpected changes led to positive outcomes can be inspiring. These experiences show that even in difficult situations, there is always something to be gained. This mindset helps us face new challenges with courage and optimism. To embrace discomfort, it's useful to adopt a curious and open approach. Instead of resisting change, ask yourself what it can teach you. Each new experience, no matter how uncomfortable, is an opportunity for personal growth and development. By accepting change as an integral part of life, we find renewed freedom. Freeing ourselves from the paralyzing fear of losing comfort allows us to embrace life with all its uncertainties. This path not only leads to a richer and fuller existence, but also empowers us to live in a more resilient and adaptable way. Managing work-related stress with Stoic wisdom. Work-related stress is a familiar challenge for many of us. Tight deadlines and constant demands for productivity can easily overwhelm. Fortunately, Stoic philosophy offers valuable strategies for managing this stress and finding a healthy balance between personal and professional life. First, it's crucial to recognize what is within our control. Often we become anxious about factors beyond our control, such as others' opinions or decisions made by superiors. Focusing on what we can control, such as our attitude and actions, helps reduce stress and maintain calm. The practice of acceptance is another powerful tool. Instead of resisting challenging circumstances, we can accept them as part of reality. This doesn't mean resignation, but understanding that some things are inevitable. Accepting what cannot be changed allows us to use our energy more effectively. Setting clear boundaries is essential. Knowing when to stop working and dedicating time to family, friends, and hobbies is vital for maintaining mental health. The balance between personal and professional life is not a luxury, but a necessity. Establishing schedules and respecting them can help avoid burnout. Reflecting on the purpose of work can also be invigorating. Seeing work not only as a source of income, but as an opportunity to contribute to something greater brings more meaning to our daily tasks, filling us with a sense of purpose and making work more gratifying. Practicing gratitude daily is another valuable strategy. Instead of focusing on what's wrong, remember to appreciate small victories and positive aspects of your work. Gratitude helps maintain a positive attitude and reduces stress. Taking regular breaks is essential. Brief moments of rest during the day can increase productivity and decrease fatigue. Standing up, walking, and breathing deeply are small actions that can have a significant impact on overall well-being. Maintaining a positive internal dialogue is fundamental. When facing challenges, how we talk to ourselves makes all the difference. Instead of harshly criticizing ourselves, we can encourage ourselves and remember that we are doing our best. Remembering that work is just a part of life, not its entirety, is important. Dedicating time to activities that bring joy and relaxation is crucial for a balanced life. Reading a good book, practicing a hobby, or simply spending time with loved ones can renew our energy. These Stoic strategies in the workplace can transform how we deal with stress, helping us find a healthier and more sustainable balance. Well-being at work is possible when we cultivate a resilient and positive mindset. Cultivating patience and reflective analysis. We often find ourselves hastily judging situations without truly understanding them. This impulse to react quickly can lead to misunderstandings, conflicts, and regrets. However, Stoic philosophy offers a different approach, teaching us to develop the ability to analyze before acting. For the Stoics, patience is an essential virtue. When faced with a challenging situation, the first reaction might be emotional. However, taking a step back and observing what's happening allows us to respond more wisely and effectively. This pause can be the difference between an impulsive response and a thoughtful action. Practicing patience helps us see situations in a new light. Instead of being carried away by first impressions, we learn to consider different perspectives. This reflection helps us better understand the contexts and motivations behind others' actions. Additionally, developing this ability to analyze makes us more resilient. When we don't react immediately, we gain time to process our emotions and thoughts. This practice strengthens our ability to handle the unexpected, turning challenges into growth opportunities. A practical example is when receiving criticism. The instinctive reaction might be defensive or aggressive. However, if we take a deep breath and analyze the criticism, we can find valid points for our development. This approach transforms a potential source of conflict into a valuable lesson. Understanding that not everything is as it seems at first glance is another important aspect. Situations often have layers of complexity that aren't immediately visible. By practicing patience, we allow these layers to reveal themselves, offering a more complete and fair view. This practice also helps us avoid unjust judgments. When we react quickly, we risk being unfair to others and ourselves. Taking time for analysis promotes understanding and empathy, reducing unnecessary conflicts. Patience and careful analysis are particularly useful in high-stress situations. In these circumstances, our ability to think clearly may be compromised. However, by training ourselves to pause and reflect, we can maintain clarity and make more informed decisions. Incorporating these principles into our daily lives can be challenging, but the benefits are profound. Continuous practice helps internalize these habits, making us more balanced and wise in our reactions. Over time, this approach becomes second nature, allowing us to navigate life's complexities with more serenity and wisdom. Patience and reflective analysis become powerful tools for dealing with adversities and improving relationships. Before reacting impulsively, take a step back, breathe, reflect, and analyze. This simple practice can transform how you handle daily situations, bringing more peace and clarity to your life. Adopting patience and reflective analysis in our routine requires practice and conscious intention. Establishing moments of pause throughout the day, where you can reflect on your reactions and decisions, helps build the habit of thinking before acting. Another vital aspect is self-awareness. Recognizing when intense emotions dominate us gives the opportunity to stop and breathe. This recognition is the first step to gaining control over reactions, allowing for more thoughtful and effective responses. Meditation and other mindfulness practices can be valuable tools in this process. They teach us to focus on the present and observe our thoughts and emotions without judgment. Over time, These practices increase our ability to remain calm and clear in challenging situations. Talking to others about their perspectives can also enrich our ability to analyze situations. Listening attentively broadens understanding and reveals nuances that might not have been initially evident. This enhances judgment skills and strengthens interpersonal relationships. Practicing these principles helps build a more resilient and balanced mind. With patience and reflective analysis, we face challenges with greater wisdom and less stress. This continuous process of personal growth transforms our life experience, promoting serenity and satisfaction. When faced with the next challenging situation, remember to pause, reflect, and analyze. With these tools, you will be better equipped to make decisions reflecting your values and promoting a healthy balance between mind and emotions. Fear of aging. Let's talk about something we all face, but don't always know how to handle: the fear of aging. Perhaps you feel a certain discomfort watching time pass, noticing you no longer have the same energy as before, or observing changes in your body. But did you know that Stoic philosophy can help us accept this inevitable passage of time? Stoics believed that aging is a natural part of life, something we all will experience. They teach us that instead of fighting it, we should accept and even find wisdom in this transition. Aging is not losing, it is gaining new perspectives, experiences, and above all, wisdom. Imagine if we could see each wrinkle, each grey hair, as medals of a life well lived. Marcus Aurelius, one of the great Stoic philosophers, said that life is like a river that flows, and each stage has its beauty and purpose. He encourages us to embrace each phase, recognizing that everything has its time and importance. The fear of aging often comes from the idea of losing youth, vitality, and relevance. However, the Stoics invite us to change this perspective. Instead of focusing on what we are losing, how about focusing on what we are gaining? Experience, patience, and a clearer vision of what really matters in life. Remember the times you overcame challenges and emerged stronger. Aging is like that, a continuous process of learning and growth. It's an opportunity to know yourself better, to connect more deeply with others, and to appreciate the small things that often go unnoticed in youth. When we stop fighting against aging and start seeing it as a journey, we find a new form of peace. Anxiety diminishes, acceptance grows, and in that acceptance we find new freedom, a new way of living without the burden of trying to be something that has already passed. Aging is a privilege. It is a chance to live more fully and consciously. Each day is a new page, and you are the author of that story. Write it with courage, joy, and the wisdom that only time can bring. So the next time you look in the mirror and notice the marks of time, remember they are witnesses to your journey of everything you have overcome and achieved. Accept them with pride and move forward, always learning and growing. After all, as the Stoics teach us, the true value of life is in how we live it, not in how much time we have. Relentless pursuit of recognition. The relentless pursuit of recognition is something many of us experience. From an early age, we are conditioned to seek external validation, whether through praise, awards, or approval from those around us. However, this dependence can become a burden, stealing our inner peace and diverting us from our true purpose. Freeing ourselves from this need begins with a change in perspective. Instead of constantly seeking others' approval, it is important to focus on the intrinsic value of our efforts. Ask yourself, am I satisfied with what I did? Does this work reflect my values and skills? Finding satisfaction in one's efforts is a path to true fulfillment. When we depend on external recognition, we place our well-being in the hands of others. This makes us vulnerable to others' opinions, which can be fickle and inconsistent. In contrast, by valuing our own growth and development, we find a source of satisfaction that cannot be taken from us. Focusing on personal growth involves recognizing and celebrating our own achievements, no matter how small. Each step, each small advance, is a brick in the construction of our own journey. When we appreciate these moments, we begin to understand that true recognition comes from within. Moreover, freeing ourselves from the need for external recognition gives us immense freedom. Without the pressure to please others, we can explore our passions and talents in an authentic way. This leads to a fuller and more satisfying life, where our actions are guided by our own values and not by the expectation of approval. To cultivate this mindset, it is helpful to practice gratitude and self-reflection. Take time to reflect on your achievements and the progress you have made. Thank yourself for the effort and dedication. This practice strengthens self-esteem and reduces dependence on external validation. It is also important to remember that external recognition can be fleeting. What is valued today may be forgotten tomorrow. Focusing on personal growth and internal satisfaction creates a solid and lasting foundation that remains regardless of external circumstances. By seeking to free yourself from the need for recognition, direct your attention inward. Value your effort, celebrate your achievements, and have faith in the value of your own growth. This not only brings deeper satisfaction, but also allows you to live more fully and authentically. Guilt over past decisions. Let's explore an issue that many of us face: guilt over past decisions. We all have moments when we look back and wish we had acted differently. But does carrying this guilt really help us? Stoics like Epictetus and Seneca show us that the past is beyond our control. Carrying guilt for something we cannot change only adds unnecessary weight to our present. Instead of sinking into regrets, the Stoics teach us to see these experiences as valuable learning opportunities. When reflecting on our past decisions, it is important to adopt a more compassionate perspective. Everyone makes mistakes. Instead of punishing ourselves, we should learn from them and move forward. Each mistake committed is a step on the ladder of our personal development. By looking at these mistakes through the lens of learning, we realize that each one has helped shape who we are now. The Stoics remind us that these difficult moments are part of our journey and are essential for our growth. Freeing ourselves from guilt opens space for self-acceptance and inner peace. It is crucial to remember that everyone, without exception, makes mistakes. It is part of our human nature. What really matters is how we choose to move forward with the lessons learned. Facing our mistakes with courage and using them as fuel for growth is a sign of strength. When we stop judging ourselves harshly, we start seeing life with more compassion and understanding. The Stoics also encourage us to live in the present, the only moment we really have. Leaving guilt in the past allows us to fully and meaningfully enjoy the now. This does not mean ignoring the consequences of our actions, but rather learning to deal with them constructively. Adopting this Stoic vision frees us from the chains of guilt and allows us to grow. The mistakes of the past become steps that elevate us to a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. By focusing on learning and growth, we discover that guilt can be left behind. You have now reached the halfway mark of the video. I congratulate you for trying to become a better version of yourself, and I also humbly ask you to leave a comment, as it helps my channel immensely. If you do not know what to comment, just write "I have the power" so I know you reached this far. And don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. Also, I've linked some books on Stoicism that helped me become the man I am today, and will also help you achieve a Stoic mindset. Facing our mistakes with a new perspective, we build a richer and more meaningful life. Each past decision, even those that seem like mistakes, becomes a fundamental piece in the construction of a better and more conscious future. Following this line of thought, imagine living without the burden of guilt. Each day becomes a new opportunity to apply the lessons learned. Stoic wisdom teaches us that the value lies in how we respond to challenges, not in avoiding mistakes at all costs. When we allow ourselves to see mistakes as part of our evolution, we start developing greater resilience. Each setback, each poorly made choice, becomes a brick in the construction of a stronger and better founded life. Over time, this change in perspective gives us more confidence to face new challenges. Epictetus said that it is not events that disturb us, but how we interpret them. By re-evaluating our past decisions in a more positive light, we begin to realize that the power over our lives is in our hands. It is up to us to decide whether a mistake defines us, or if it is just a chapter in a bigger story. This change in mindset does not happen overnight. It is a continuous process of self-understanding and self-compassion. As we practice this new way of thinking, guilt begins to lose its power. In its place arises a sense of empowerment and control over our own destiny. It is natural to look back and feel regret for certain decisions. However, the Stoics invite us to see these moments as an intrinsic part of the human journey. Each mistake is an opportunity to demonstrate resilience, learning, and growth. By accepting this, we start living more authentically and freely. Over time, as we apply Stoic principles, we begin to feel a new lightness. The emotional burden diminishes and clarity increases. Future decisions are made with more wisdom, based on understanding the lessons of the past. Therefore, by facing guilt over past decisions with a new perspective, we transform our lives. We adopt a vision of continuous learning and growth, allowing us to live according to our deepest values. In this way, we find the peace and satisfaction that come from a life lived fully, with courage and purpose. Thus, each experience, good or bad, contributes to the person we become. And this journey, with all its imperfections, is what makes life truly rich and meaningful. By freeing ourselves from guilt, we take a crucial step towards living with more wisdom and serenity, just as the Stoics taught us. Unrealistic expectations in relationships. We all have expectations when it comes to relationships. From an early age, we are influenced by movies, books, and even stories we hear, creating an idealized image of how relationships should be. These expectations are often unrealistic and can lead to frustration and misunderstandings. Epictetus reminds us that we must adjust our expectations to live more balanced lives. They teach that the root of suffering often lies in unmet expectations. When we expect others to act in a certain way or meet all our needs, we place an unfair burden on them and ourselves. It is important to recognize that each person is unique, with their own experiences, traumas, and limitations. Expecting perfection or constant adherence to our desires is a recipe for disappointment. Cultivating healthy relationships means accepting others as they are, with their qualities and imperfections. A healthy relationship is built on mutual respect and understanding. Adjusting expectations does not mean accepting any behavior, but understanding that everyone has their flaws. Communicating openly about needs and boundaries helps create a more truthful and satisfying connection. By lowering unrealistic expectations, we open up space to appreciate the people around us for who they really are. This not only relieves the pressure on relationships, but also allows us to enjoy genuine moments of connection and love. This approach can profoundly transform how we relate to others. The Stoics also emphasize the importance of focusing on what we can control. We cannot change others, but we can adjust our attitudes and reactions. Accepting this truth gives us more serenity and allows us to better handle inevitable human flaws. Adjusting expectations also involves self-awareness. Reflect on what you expect from others and ask yourself if these expectations are fair or realistic. This exercise can reveal a lot about your own needs and insecurities, allowing for significant personal growth. By working on these issues, you will find more peace and satisfaction in relationships. Accepting others' imperfections along with practicing compassion and empathy creates an environment where everyone can flourish. Healthier and more realistic relationships are possible when we adjust our expectations and focus on building genuine and compassionate connections. Excessive concern with others' opinions. This is a common problem, especially in the age of social media, where everything we do seems to be under the critical eye of everyone. But how can we reduce this influence and live according to our own values and Stoic principles? Stoics like Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius teach us that inner peace comes from living in harmony with our values, not pleasing others. They believed that constantly worrying about others' opinions is a form of slavery that prevents us from being truly free and authentic. Remember the times when you changed your behavior or choices out of fear of others' judgment. Perhaps you hesitated to follow a dream, express an opinion, or make an important decision. This constant fear imprisons us and distances us from the full life we deserve. The Stoics encourage us to focus on what is under our control. Others' opinions are beyond our control. We cannot change what others think or feel. However, we can control our own actions and reactions. By accepting this, we release a huge burden and begin to live according to our own standards. Think about how it would be to live without this constant concern, making choices based on what you truly believe in, instead of trying to please everyone. The sense of freedom that this brings is indescribable. The Stoics call this living in accordance with virtue, that is, acting according to your highest principles. Have you ever wondered how many opportunities you missed out on for fear of what others would think? Maybe you gave up on a hobby, a project, or even a relationship because of this. The Stoics remind us that our life is too short and precious to be lived under the yoke of others' opinions. The next time you feel pressured by others' judgment, stop and reflect. Does this opinion really matter? Does it reflect your values and principles? If not, let it go. By doing this repeatedly, you will strengthen your resilience and gain confidence to follow your own path. Practicing detachment from others' opinions does not mean completely ignoring feedback or well-intentioned advice. It means having the discernment to accept what is constructive and discard what does not add value to your life. Gradually, by living this way, you will notice that anxiety diminishes. You will begin to feel more secure in your choices and more aligned with who you really are. This is the true power of Stoic philosophy, helping us live authentically and fully. Cultivating this Stoic attitude of independence from others' opinions is a continuous journey. It requires practice, patience, and above all, courage. Courage to be yourself without fear of others' judgment. Let's learn to live according to our own values, seek inner peace, and free ourselves from the need for external approval. After all, as the Stoics teach us, true happiness comes from within, not from the opinions others have of us. If you are finding value in the Stoic lessons so far and want to continue exploring practical ways to apply this wisdom in your daily life, subscribe to our channel. Denial of emotions. Often, we are taught to suppress our emotions, to hide what we feel to appear stronger or more composed. However, denying our emotions can lead to a series of physical and mental problems. Stoic philosophy offers a healthier approach to dealing with these emotions, teaching us to understand and accept our feelings instead of suppressing them. First, it is crucial to recognize that emotions are a natural part of the human experience. Feeling sadness, anger, joy, or fear is not a sign of weakness, but of our humanity. Denying these emotions is denying a vital part of who we are. By accepting them, we begin to understand their causes and effects in our lives. Epictetus said that it is not events that disturb us, but our interpretations of them. This teaches us to examine our emotions and identify the thoughts that provoke them. When we feel anger, for example, we can ask ourselves, what am I thinking that is causing this anger? This reflection helps us unravel the root of our emotions and deal with them more effectively. Another important point is the acceptance of emotions without judgment. When we feel sadness or fear, we often criticize ourselves for it. Instead, we can accept these feelings as part of our living and growing process. This acceptance does not mean resignation, but an honest acknowledgement of our emotional states. Practicing mindfulness is a valuable technique. By focusing on the present moment, we observe our emotions without being carried away by them. This allows us to experience our feelings in a more controlled and less reactive way. Mindfulness teaches us to be present with our emotions, allowing them to flow naturally instead of suppressing them. Reflecting on the impermanence of emotions is also helpful. No feeling lasts forever. They come and go like waves. Knowing that a negative emotion is temporary can give us the strength to face it with more serenity. By accepting this transitory nature, we allow ourselves to feel without fear of getting stuck in an emotional state. Positive self-talk is fundamental. Instead of criticizing ourselves for feeling anger or sadness, we can talk to ourselves with kindness and understanding. Ask yourself what you can learn from this emotion and how it can contribute to your personal growth. This approach promotes self-compassion and emotional development. The practice of visualization is another powerful tool. Visualizing yourself facing challenging situations with calm and clarity can prepare your mind to handle them better when they arise. This exercise strengthens your emotional resilience and your ability to respond. Remembering that everyone faces difficult emotions is consoling. Knowing that we are not alone in our emotional struggles creates a sense of connection and empathy. This allows us to be kinder to ourselves and others, understanding that emotions are a universal experience. Transforming emotions into positive action is also an effective strategy. When we feel anger or frustration, we can channel this energy into constructive activities like physical exercise or creative projects. This not only helps us deal with the emotion, but also use its energy productively. Accepting emotions also involves sharing our feelings with trusted people. Talking about our emotions can alleviate the weight we feel and offer new perspectives on our experiences. This openness strengthens our relationships and helps us deal with emotions more healthily. It is also important to cultivate gratitude and emotional balance. By focusing on what we are grateful for, we shift our perspective and promote a more positive emotional state. Balancing our emotions means accepting both the highs and lows, knowing that both are essential parts of a full life. By adopting these practices, we learn to deal with our emotions more healthily and balanced, finding peace and clarity even in moments of emotional turbulence. Dealing with our emotions healthily requires practice and patience. Every day, as we apply these Stoic techniques, we begin to notice a change in how we relate to our feelings. It is not about eliminating negative emotions, but integrating them constructively into our lives. This acceptance allows us to live more authentically and fully. Recognizing and understanding our emotions gives us the power to respond to them with wisdom instead of reacting impulsively. Self-compassion and self-acceptance are fundamental pillars in this process. Practicing these techniques not only improves our emotional well-being, but also strengthens our relationships. As we become more understanding and empathetic with ourselves, we extend this same compassion to others, creating deeper and more meaningful connections. Instead of denying your emotions, make space for them. Use Stoic strategies to navigate these feelings with grace and courage. In this way, you will find an emotional balance that leads to a richer and more satisfying life. The need to maintain appearances. The need to maintain appearances is a constant pressure in today's society. We are surrounded by messages about how we should dress, behave, and present ourselves to the world. However, this excessive concern with outward appearance can distance us from what really matters, the development of our character and personal integrity. It is easy to fall into the trap of trying to please others and fit into imposed standards. However, focusing only on appearance is superficial and often unsatisfactory. True satisfaction comes from within, from the awareness that we are living according to our values and principles. Character development is internal work that requires self-knowledge and reflection. It is not about how others see us, but how we see ourselves. Cultivating integrity means acting with honesty and consistency, even when no one is watching. This builds a solid foundation of self-confidence and self-respect. When we stop worrying so much about appearances, we begin to realize that others' opinions have less impact on our happiness than we imagined. What really matters is our own assessment of who we are and what we do. This frees us from external expectations and allows us to live more authentically. Focusing on personal development instead of external appearances also has a positive impact on our relationships. Connections become more genuine when we present ourselves as we truly are, without masks. People are attracted to authenticity and true character, not an artificial facade. To cultivate this change of focus, it is helpful to conduct regular self-evaluations. Ask yourself if your actions are aligned with your values. Identify areas where you can improve and work on them with determination. This continuous process of self-improvement strengthens your character and integrity. The journey to abandon the need to maintain appearances is continuous and requires courage. It requires the willingness to be vulnerable and to accept that we do not need to be perfect in the eyes of others. What matters is being true to ourselves and our principles. By directing our energy towards internal growth, we discover a lasting source of satisfaction. External appearance can change and is temporary, but character and integrity are enduring and deeply gratifying. They guide us in all areas of life, providing a sense of peace and fulfillment. Instead of worrying about what others think, focus on who you are and what you believe. This focus on personal development not only improves your life, but also inspires those around you to do the same. True beauty lies in living with integrity and authenticity. Dissatisfaction with the present. Dissatisfaction with the present is a feeling that many of us know well. Often we are so focused on what we want for the future or what we lack that we forget to value what we have now. This tendency to always seek something beyond can prevent us from finding true happiness and inner peace. Practicing gratitude is a powerful way to combat this dissatisfaction. When we stop to reflect on the things we are grateful for, we shift our focus from deficiencies to abundance. This simple act of recognition can transform our perspective and help us see the beauty in everyday life. Gratitude invites us to appreciate the small moments that make up our daily lives, whether it's a conversation with a friend, a delicious meal, or a stunning sunset. Each instant has its value. By paying attention to these details, we find a wealth of experiences that often go unnoticed. Valuing the present also means accepting that not everything will be perfect. There will be challenges and difficulties, but it is important to remember that these moments are part of the journey. They teach us, strengthen us, and prepare us for the future. By accepting the present with all its imperfections, we cultivate an attitude of resilience and acceptance. A practical exercise to develop this skill is to set aside time each day to reflect on what went well. Write down 3 things you are grateful for. This simple practice can significantly change your worldview and increase your satisfaction with life. Another crucial aspect is living in the present moment. Often we worry so much about the future or ruminate on the past that we forget to live in the now. Being fully present in each moment allows us to enjoy life to the fullest. This not only reduces anxiety, but also connects us more deeply with the people and experiences around us. Remembering that life is ephemeral also helps us value the present. Nothing is guaranteed, and each day is a gift. By adopting this perspective, we find a new sense of urgency to live more fully and authentically, making the most of every opportunity that arises. Practicing meditation can be a valuable aid in this journey. Meditation teaches us to focus on the present, observe our thoughts and feelings without judgment. This skill allows us to face life with a calmer and more centered mind, enjoying more of the here and now. Cultivating meaningful relationships also enriches our present experience. When we invest time and energy in our connections, we create valuable memories and a sense of belonging. These relationships support us and give us even more reason to be grateful. Accepting the present does not mean resignation. It is about finding contentment where we are while working towards where we want to go. This balanced approach allows us to grow and evolve without losing appreciation for what we have now. When you feel dissatisfied with the present, stop and reflect on the blessings around you. Practice gratitude and be present in each moment. By doing so, you will discover that true happiness is not somewhere in the future, but right here in the present. Embracing gratitude and living fully in the present also invites us to reevaluate our priorities. Often, we pursue goals that do not reflect our true desires, influenced by external expectations. By focusing on the now, we can identify what really matters to us and align our actions with these values. Finding joy in the small things of everyday life can be a constant source of satisfaction. A walk in the park, the aroma of fresh coffee, or a shared smile are moments that, when appreciated, enrich our lives in a profound and lasting way. This attention to detail transforms common experiences into sources of contentment. Another fundamental aspect is practicing self-compassion, being kind to ourselves when things do not go as planned, and recognizing that everyone faces challenges helps us better cope with present difficulties. This inner kindness reinforces our ability to face adversities with a positive attitude. Engaging in activities that bring us joy and fulfillment is another effective way to value the present. Dedicating time to hobbies, volunteer work, or any other activity that we are passionate about not only enriches our daily lives, but also connects us with our essence and purpose. When we cultivate gratitude and focus on the present moment, we create a solid foundation for a fuller and more meaningful life. Each day becomes an opportunity for growth and joy, and we learn to see the value in each experience, big or small. This state of continuous appreciation transforms our perspective and allows us to live with more serenity and satisfaction. I sincerely hope you have found value in these reflections on how practicing gratitude and focusing on the present can transform your life. Now, if any part of this message has been helpful to you, leave us your like and comment, helping the algorithm recommend it to someone who needs it at this time. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss new videos, and if you look through the videos we've already uploaded, you're sure to find something to take with you. Have a good day.